Last section of the study guide. Who here feels a twinge of melancholy? We're coming to an end. No, you're just glad? Okay, we're glad that we're coming to an end. And this one also is not that artistic or fun, but stuff you need to know. Advanced topics. Number 1, this career technical student organization, I could call it a club, includes photography contests. It's called Skills USA, SKILLS, Skills USA. I am not required to make you join Skills USA. Last time I looked into it, it was $30. I'm not going to pay your $30. The school's not going to pay you $30, and I'm not going to require you to pay $30. But it is an excellent organization, and the state of Utah all but requires it. There will be some things on the state test related to: are you a member of Skills USA? Have you submitted anything to Skills USA? But honestly, it's valuable, but it's completely optional. Number 2, what is the definition of copyright? Oh my word, we could talk about this forever. All right, so copyright is the government's protection, and it should be the world government actually, of your artistic work. So when you guys take a photo and you want to say, hey, that's my photo, I want to protect my rights, what do you have to do to protect it? When is it copyrighted? And I'm going to actually go off on a tangent for just a second here. That word is copyright with an R-I-G-H-T, not with a W-R-I-T-E. So your work is never copywritten. People say that all the time. It's copyrighted. That's how you do the past tense of copyright. It is actually copyrighted as soon as you do it. So you're saying, well, you have to send it off to the Library of Congress, and you can do that. And it's about $50. You send it off, or you electronically send it off to the Library of Congress, and then you get a seal of approval, a certificate that says your work is copyrighted. And then Mr. Walker really likes a photo that you guys submitted, and I try to steal it, and I try to make money off it. I can make posters and get it printed on the web and in magazines, and you come back and you say, hey, that's my work. That's copyrighted. That's a copyrighted photo, Mr. Walker. That's my work, and you are in violation of copyright law. And I say, no, that's my work. Well, now what you have to do is prove it's your work, and that's why you can send it off to the Library of Congress, and you can say, no, I've got the certificate that proves it. But the truth of it is, as soon as it's created, it's yours. You just have to prove it. And so you turn to the whole class, and you guys, hey guys, that was mine, wasn't it? And they all say, yeah. And so they'll back you up in a court of law. But even more important is EXIF data, right? Who remembers what EXIF data is? So on that photo, you right click and you get properties, and it says this is when it was shot on what camera, and then you've got that much more proof. Or maybe you edited it, or maybe you emailed it to yourself, and so there's other electronic footprints, digital footprints. So you do not use other people's work because it is copyrighted. Number 3 says, under copyright law, what images can you use outside of the classroom? So in the classroom, we actually have some flexibility. If it doesn't ever go out to the world, we can play with copyrighted footage, including our own, and even stuff we pull off the web. We mess around with things in the classroom. But outside of the classroom, and especially for monetary gain, what can you use? What photos can you use? Your own. Your own, or something that you have been granted copyright to use. And so you can ask the copyright owner, hey, Susie, yeah, Johnny, what? Can I use your photo? Yeah, okay, let's write that in a document. Here's a contract saying I get to use it. Actually, I want $1. Okay, here's $1. Now we have an official transaction I get to use. I've licensed the copyright of your photo. Number 4, a collection of photos that you would show to a prospective employer or client. What is that collection of photos called? You guys are working on it right now. It's your final project. One of your final projects. It's your portfolio. P-O-R-T-F-O-L-I-O. Portfolio. And that's when you say to an employer, a magazine editor, or anybody, and you say, well, you want to see my work? And you can either show them like a really spiffy printed copy of it, or you can just go online, and what we do is we use Google Docs, we use Google Slides, and anywhere you are, you can be sitting next to someone on a plane, you can pull out your phone, you can say, here's my work. Okay, number 5, name 5 qualities of a career-ready photographer. So now we're just going to read this, try not to fall asleep. An understanding of ethics related to social and legal issues in subject choice, i.e., model releases, image appropriateness, and cultural sensitivity. So depending on what your audience is, you got to be aware of what will be sensitive and appropriate for that audience. So you could talk about things related to racism. Should you be picking on the elderly? Is this appropriate for 5-year-olds? That kind of stuff. A model release, known in similar contexts as a liability waiver, is a legal release typically signed by the subject of a photograph, granting permission to publish the photograph in one form or another. So if I am your model, I'm going to charge you $1,100 for my image, and then I sign kind of like it's a contract, but they call it a release, a model release or a talent release. And I say, I hereby grant you permission to use my image. I have received financial compensation, and you may use it in certain areas. Sometimes it's just a blanket. I get to use it anywhere I want. But like I say, it usually involves some money, and if you don't get that, then of course you can be sued. I did not give you permission to take that funny photo of me with my funny expression and put it all over the high school walls. I did not give you permission to do that. By the way, that's part of the copyright clause. I forgot to mention that. Part of copyright is the public display of someone's work. You can't even publicly display someone's work, even if you're not making money off of it, without their permission, without the copyright owner's permission. All right, moving on. Understand and demonstrate the attitude of cooperation. So especially if you're working with people, obviously, right? I'm going to work with a magazine editor. I'm going to work with my boss. I'm going to work with my kids. I'm going to work with my dog. Hold still there, Fido. Okay. Develop awareness of cultural diversity and equality issues. Again, we're talking about things, when we say cultural diversity and equality, we're talking about things like racism, or recently the head of the United Soccer Federation, whatever it's called, got in trouble because he said that men athletes in soccer are paid more than female athletes because they have more skills and some other garbage, okay? So immediately he got fired because he wasn't showing equality issue sensitivity. Demonstrate effective communication with others. I want you to stand over there and look pretty. That's probably not good enough if you're going to direct a model. Team skills. Conflict resolution skills. That's actually a big one. We don't necessarily teach very much of that in high school. But every day of the rest of your life, you will have a relationship issue of some kind. Right now you got it maybe with your parents. Why do I have to go to bed at 11? Why do I have to clean my room or whatever, right? But there's relationship issues everywhere, and you have to resolve conflicts. Conflicts include working with your boss, working with your photo subjects. I would even say working with technology. The ability of being resourceful and innovative. Ah, crap, it's raining. What are we going to do? We were supposed to do this outside shoot. I had that in Hawaii. Got everyone out there, out on the beach in Hawaii, ton of money, get everybody over there, we're filming, and jets come flying overhead. Not rain, which also does in Hawaii. We tried to pick the time when it would not be raining. There's a rainy season, which is usually like February. We had to adjust for the jets. We had to be resourceful. Have self-motivation techniques and establish short-term goals. Are you self-motivated? Do you actually do work without being nagged? My wife has to nag me about everything. Measure, modify short-term goals. So yeah, so then you say, okay, well, maybe I got to adjust my goals here a little bit. Stay current by regularly reading professional articles, online or magazines. Does anyone actually read a magazine anymore? You guys, once in a while? Okay. But yeah, you should be, YouTube's the easiest thing in the world, right? But you should be Googling stuff and learning. Plan for your future career. I don't know if I've ever had this little talk with you guys. Some of you maybe have heard this. There's not a lot of careers in photography. I'm just going to be honest with you. But you can use photography in your career field almost all the time. What I mean is there's always an opportunity to shoot a photo. In your personal life and in your professional life, there will be an opportunity to shoot a photo. And you just tell your boss, look, I can get this photo and I can work it out in Photoshop and print it out and I know how to get it to a printer, and they can mail out a ton of newspapers. I mean, whatever it is, if you have photography and Photoshop skills, you can apply them. And there are some careers in photography, it's just like the very best get them. So if that's you, that's great. You've got to do a lot of work, you've got to be better than the next guy, you've got to promote yourself. Maybe I should say that. As plan for your future career, you must also have a good portfolio, because you've got to promote yourself all the time. You've got to find ways to get into magazines and newspapers. You've got to have your name associated with it. All right, anyway, proficient in computer programs, that's why we teach Photoshop, but you can also do stuff on tablets and phones. Understand and demonstrate the ability to manage a project. Demonstrate business meeting skills. That's actually a big deal. Do you know how, we said team skills, but do you know how to be in a business meeting? That's why we have staff meetings. And do you know how to be attentive and actually get the work done that is being talked about? That's when you're valuable. When you just sit there and you're on your phone, or you just fall asleep, or you're talking with your friends, I don't want you on my business team. Supervisory and management roles in an organization. Conflict, I got conflict up there twice. That's how important it is. You must be able to solve conflicts without screaming and throwing knives or pencils. Manage a project and evaluate others. A lot of that kind of stuff up there. Okay, then I say, name 3 professional applications of your photography skills that interest you. Because now I'm saying, what are you going to do professionally with your photography skills? What would you like to do? What interests do you have? And it can be almost anything. It can be, I'm going to make my own Christmas cards and I'm going to send them out. That's a professional application of your photography skill. I'm going to film weddings. I'm going to take senior class pictures. I'm going to make posters. I'm going to make calendars. Some professional application of your skills. I'm going to shoot photos for my dad's website. So you can come up with some ideas of professional applications of your skills. Come up with three things that interest you, that are more than just amateur, more than just every morning I'm going to take a photo of me brushing my teeth. For what? Okay, who knows, maybe that will really be a big hit and go viral. Okay, that's the end of our advanced topics. I hope you feel like you have accomplished something today. You have finished the study guides. Give yourselves a pat on the back.